How's it going, Critter Family? I hope you all are doing well. I am finally back at it to have more of a regular schedule of filming again. Hopefully, I've been gone for a little while pet sitting, so that's where I have been. But I hope you all are doing well. I hope you're enjoying. We are getting some cooler weather here in northern Washington State, which is also a great time to remind you all that if any of you are in the northern Washington area or know of anybody who is, I am open for board and train for a somewhat limited amount of time, for the next 3 or 4 months before I move in with my sister. So now I don't have little old man Adonis. I'm able to take in a young pup or, either a puppy or a young adult that doesn't have any prey drive whatsoever and is not aggressive for the reasons of I have a ferret that I have to protect, first and foremost. So that's where the prey drive comes from, and aggression because I have neighbors. We have a lot of dogs and bunnies, and so this is not the most beneficial environment for having an aggressive, reactive dog, because we would just be setting them up for failure too much. So at some point in the future, I do absolutely hope to have my own property, my own home, an actual house, and I can take in special cases like that. But if you do have any cases like that, I'm more than happy to travel to you and make personal home visits for any aggression, reactivity, bite cases, anything like that. So it does not at all mean that I do not work with any aggression cases, so don't let that scare you away. Just for the reason of, a board and train for you can sign up at my website, k9tay.com, for a minimum of 7 days and a maximum of 21 days. So 1 week to 3 weeks. Entirely your choice. I can help with potty training, leash skills, socialization, the whole kit and caboodle. And along with that, if you enjoy the videos and the content I put out, then you're welcome to sign up on Patreon. Of course, that is never a requirement. Only do it if you are interested and have the means to. Please never go without for my sake. I never ever want that. So make sure you have food on the table in your bellies for your little puppers. Take care of yourselves first and foremost. Thank you to my subscriber from Slovakia. So all that good stuff, good little basic updates in there. We're going to be going over, this is a really, really old recommendation. So sorry, again, it always takes me a while to get back to these, but I do try to cover the ones that have been suggested a while back, along with some newer ones. This is by Joel Beckman. Bully gets humbled by Prince. I'm assuming he means this looks like a doodle of some sort. Will he change forever? Chances are probably not. There is also, I see there is a new, bully. I say that in quotation marks, which is kind of ironic because Prince has been raised to be a bully. But I mean, hey, I'm not saying that dogs cannot be bullies. It doesn't mean that that's their entire identity. But what I mean is that they don't, they push and push, and they like to be, biggest guy in the sky, and they think they're all tough and all that, and it's just not necessary. The humans, create this kind of situation. So I guess if you're interested in seeing how Prince changes this dog's attitude, then let's get started.
Which is your whole
okay,
point.
So real quick, I know this is like the first, the little opening scene that Beckman likes to do, but so this dog was behind Prince, nipped him on the back of the neck, kind of. They're staring at each other. He has a closed mouth, very important, very tall tail, and he has an open mouth. So he could have been doing that to kind of like pick on him to get him. This dog could have been picking on Prince, trying to irritate him to get Prince to chase him. As we see that he doesn't seem to be acting, aggressive or trying to intimidate him. He has long lips, open mouth. Prince seems very stern, even with his ears the way they are. He's very stiff. He looks like hackles up, closed mouth, and his eyes are really, they look like they're a lot more, there's more wrinkles and more muscle contraction here, more of a hard stare than here. Looks like this dog has softer eyes, and he has very hard eyes.
He just nipped.
So then he starts to step into Prince as Prince is shaking off. So Prince could have been, telling him, "Hey, back off," or let's calm down, as appeasing, a calming signal. But then as he's shaking off, this dog steps in, and then Prince says, "No, I'm telling you to back off, back off."
Prince on the.
And then he goes a bit overkill, in my opinion. that, okay, so we have the whale eyes, you know, so he's doing this either out of anxiety or just because he's used to, you know, getting his way. But he told the dog to back off. Apparently the dog didn't back off quick enough. So then he goes for it, and he continues going for it more so than he needs to. Going for the back of the dog's neck, growling, making sure he has to make contact, keeps going. So that was too much for me. Too much of a correction. It would have been fine if he had just, you know, shaken off. Even though the dog's coming into his space, he could walk away. If the dog continues to come into his space, then he could do an air snap, you know, or a growl or show teeth or whatever. And I think that would have sufficed.
You're going to see a session and a video like you've never seen before. This dog meets other dogs.
So he looks really, really happy. He doesn't need to knee him. He's going to turn this dog from being excited to aggressive or fearful or reactive.
I'm going to start with Prince giving this dog correction. Then we're going to bring out other dogs. I'm going to give the corrections to show.
So you're already giving corrections that you don't necessarily need to. I have a big thing about dogs jumping on me. I don't like dogs jumping on me, like, incessantly. You know, I don't mind if they, like, you know, they jump and you know, kind of dance there. But if they really put paws, they start scratching at me, you know, then I'll say, okay, I'm going to put you behind a little area, or I'm going to tie your leash, hopefully to a harness, you know, to a stationary point, and I'm going to work on that first, you know, on being able to get away from you where you can't continue to jump me and mug me. And we'll work with positive reinforcement, you know, rewarding you and giving you attention or treats anytime you have 4 feet on the floor.
Show the owner and to show you at home. Then the owner is going to give the corrections, and the timing and the intensity of the corrections in grabbing the dog.
So that's a good little sniff. You know, Prince is a little bit stiff. This guy could be a little bit stiff too, but this is an appropriate greeting. They're not going for the face, which is rude to go for the face. You know, go for the little C shape. You know, if the dog has a side, you know, their body's kind of curved into a C. I don't see Prince's, you know, Prince might have a little bit of, I paused it here, so might have a little bit of hackles going up, which is otherwise known as piloerection, where the hair stands up on end. I don't see too much of that going on here, but this guy seems, you know, a lot softer, and they're just sniffing.
And explain to you, but it's going to start with Prince. So
Prince
this dog
away.
Thinks that he's kind of the biggest, toughest dog out there. He's a good dog.
I don't think, well, from what I've seen here in this little bit, I don't think this dog thinks he's the biggest, toughest guy out there. He might just be really happy and obnoxious, like some dogs are. You know, he looks like he's a labradoodle, you know, a lab poodle. And a lot of dogs like that are just really, really happy, slappy. You know, as one of my clients said, that, you know, her Labrador, you know, a little yellow Labrador named Abby, was just happy, slappy. You know, all over the place, just super excited to see their dogs. And, you know, they may have not been taught by another dog in an appropriate manner to, hey, back off, you know, or the calming signals were not read. You know, it just looks like to me it could be inexperience. And it doesn't mean you need to have a bully of a dog. Not literally like the breed, but like a dog that acts like a bully that goes way over the top to teach this dog. This dog, I don't see so far that they're being pushy in this interaction here. I see just a very excitable, inexperienced dog.
Not an aggressive dog. He's a dominant dog, but the thing
when everybody says dominant dog, blah, 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 blah. No. Dominance is not a behavioral trait, people. I mean, if there is going to be a quote-unquote dominant dog, it's going to be Prince, because Joel has raised him to be a bully and think that he's a spoiled kid who gets away with everything because he has daddy to back him up. That doesn't mean that it's actually a behavioral trait. If there was one bone and this dog snapped, growled, or bit at Prince and got the bone, in that moment he would be dominant. Likewise, if Prince snapped at him and he moved away and got the bone, Prince would be dominant in that moment. You know, it's a momentary action. You're not just this overall being of being a dictator.
He just pushes dogs. And then he goes to the dog park and the other dogs shrimp away.
So that right there is excitement. You know, Prince shows a little bit more, you know, he has a little wag there, so he looks like he's playing. You know, Prince looks a little bit more like maybe he's looking at Joel to see what, you know, if Joel is going to allow him to correct or what Joel wants, I don't know. And a lot of this behavior can be understanding if the owner takes their dog to a dog park very often. Because what happens in a dog park is a lot of unsocialized dogs, inexperienced dogs, or bully dogs or whatever, inexperienced dogs, go to an area with a bunch of other unsocialized, inexperienced dogs, and they learn from them. So it's like if you've never been socialized before, you take your kid, your toddler, your young kid, whatever, and they go to a playground and there's no rules and all the kids are just like pushing each other, if your kid learns that to get what they want, they push and bully other kids, then that's what they're going to do. Otherwise, if they learn that, oh, you have to ask permission, you have to be nice, we have manners, we have to, respect other people, and they will respect you, then that's what your dog, your kid or your dog will learn the same way. I'm not calling children dogs. I'm saying that the learning process is still the same.
He's kind of a bully, and this owner's like, listen, I don't want my dog to be...
So him being, over the top of Prince is, a little bit more pushy. But Prince really isn't telling him to back off. If Prince wanted to, he could, and this still just looks like he's just really excited, and I think that's probably where the nip will come in, because he says, hey, chase me. And Prince is like, no, dude, I'm not that kind of dog. I don't, we're not going to get along like that. But maybe we can, get along in another way. Or maybe not, just tolerate each other. So I wouldn't necessarily say this dog is a bully in the same sense as Prince. I think this dog just doesn't understand calming signals, or when limits, or how to read the room, so to speak. And it could very well be because the owner takes him to the dog park to be socialized by a bunch of other unsocialized dogs.
That dog. Most people just don't know what to do, but this guy came out to me.
Very nice loose wag of a tail. He's sniffing the butt. He's not going for the face.
The whole thing starts with Prince.
And this is like a, chase. So this dog went from, it looked like a play that he wanted to run to very quickly fear, because Prince was saying, I'm not playing with you. Prince takes it very personally, it seems like. Yes, I'm anthropomorphizing, but, Prince it seems to have taken that as a challenge and not like, hey, I'm gonna bug you, play with me. A lot of dogs will do that over the shoulder thing, like, hey, play with me, and they chase each other and they get very stiff and they run and do whatever. This dog looked like he was really gonna, run away and be excitable and happy and have fun. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. It just looked like that's what he was gonna do. And then Prince says, no, I'm gonna scare you until you don't come up on me like that, which I don't think was necessary.
Needs to learn. This dog needs to know.
But this guy handled it very well.
Tougher, stronger dog.
I don't know who that guy is. He's trying to stop a fight. It looked like he called this, Prince off, or at least looked like, Prince calmed down, which is good. I don't think Prince, nothing against him as a dog personally, because he's just been raised by humans. He's doing what his humans have raised him to be. But I don't think he's a good demo dog. I really don't. I wouldn't trust him around my dog for anything.
Dogs out there. He literally has no idea. So
another little shake off. This guy wants to go sniff. So this guy doesn't really know a whole lot about personal space. Looks like Prince was trying to, again, shake off, saying, hey, dude, calm down your energy.
Prince gives the correction when you see that part, and I'll slow that part down for you as well.
So he goes around to sniff behind.
Go, oh.
So they're marking on each other. It's not saying, hey, I'm bigger than you, I'm bigger than you. In Prince's mind, it could be that, like, hey, I'm bigger, let me do this. And this dog says, hey, I smell you. You're an intact male. You're, you seem healthy enough, or whatever he gets from that urine mark. And he says, hey, this is me. So they just mark, it's P male. Which, first off, I would not want a stinking dog pissing all over my furniture outside. I don't care about the furniture itself, but the fact that people just they don't teach their male dogs to not go pissing on everything. I'm sure all these chairs have been peed on and this and that, and it's another thing about the attitude of how Joel has raised his dog. You can absolutely have an intact dog that does not go marking everything that's not, that you don't want to be marked.
I just didn't know.
Pees on it again.
I didn't know that another dog...
So that would be more, for me, they're not just talking to each other. That says, and I'm no behaviorist, obviously. This dog was like, hey, here's my information, moving on, my little calling card. To me, it seemed like Prince is saying, no, I'm the bigger, badder one. It's more of a different, mindset that he peed to show his strength, and then he, peed again on top of this dog to say, no, I'm on top.
Dog could be that strong, that fast, and
so again, play,
be that...
Hackles are up the entire time.
Intense. He didn't know
kind of ignoring this dog, which is okay. He can ignore him. I would be working on calling this dog away. Because it seems like Prince is trying to say, dude, I'm being patient. I don't really want to play with you. You're getting up in my space. I would call this dog away, and that's how humans can effectively teach a dog to be respectful without having to put anybody in harm's way.
in a controlled environment like we do here, because he's going to learn it somehow.
I see this all just play. He's just trying to get Prince to play.
Or he's going to learn it from the wrong dog who's going to get him
Prince doesn't want to
grab
play.
him and shake him and send him to the vet. But he's going to learn at some point, so this is the best way to learn.
He doesn't... Okay, so now Prince is down here, and he feels more like, okay, I want to play. This is like a play area. Up there was all business. Down here, he associates it more with play. So very good little play bow.
Play bow right there. Kind of, I like that he play bowed, right? He's kind of saying, listen, this. He knows it's going to get rough, but he's saying that
so now Prince is going from, like play to like, okay, I'm still going to try and in this moment dominate you in the sense of I'm going to try and get on top of you and take control, and again try to show that I'm the biggest, baddest guy. It just seems like that's just his identity. That I don't know if it is or not. I mean, we can't say for sure 100%, but given how humans can raise a dog to constantly think in a certain way and reinforce that thought, they could become, that the dog thinks that they're the biggest, baddest guy in the sky. This dog just wants to play. And Prince is like, fighting between, yeah, we'll play, but no, I'm on top. I have to be serious.
A little bit. So
now he seems more
again,
serious.
He's going to learn from Prince. This is the same with young men. Young men need to learn.
So he does get off. He's not like holding him there, which is good. They're just playing. They're just horse playing. Or dog playing. No big deal.
Adult, professionally trained, let's say in jiu-jitsu, men can really hurt them, because when you're a young man, you kind of think
okay. So this is where that little bumping comes from. That I don't blame Prince for getting irritated. If I were a dog, and especially if I were a Shiba, I would be pretty irritated by that too. And I'd be like, no, you're not going to nip me. You're not going to bump me. Like with Zach George when Inertia, when she was a puppy and she kept getting like bum rushed by, a beautiful shepherd in the park, and then she nipped him, and then she made a couple more nips because he didn't back off and get her meaning. I was on Inertia's side because the shepherd, certain types of breeds and dogs, they just run into you and bump you and try to roll you, either because it's fun to them, it's just what they do with other dogs, or because they're not paying attention. So I'm fine with the dog giving, a correction as long as it's just that. Once and done, and we move on. We don't continue. At the same time, it should always be supervised so that the owners can prevent that from happening if they need to, or they can prevent it from going further.
Really big and really strong until you run into a real adult man with adult strength.
So he's, getting really into Prince's, like anal glands. That's what he's smelling there. I might call this away and be like, okay, dude, look, you got to give him some space. Like, get out of it. Mind your business.
The young man needs to learn it in a controlled environment.
Because Adonis hated anyone. He would never allow anybody to sniff his butt, which to me, I think is a pretty safe thing. Because he didn't care to sniff anybody else's butt either, Pretty safe with a stranger. You don't want them just going in your business. At least that was Adonis's thing. He didn't care to go sniff and say howdy do to you. He didn't want you sniffing up in his space either.
With his dad or at a professional place so that he doesn't go to the bar.
So good, we have some little bonded
sniffing
guy here. He was respecting his, Prince's space, by sniffing along with him.
The guy's in bad
open
mood,
mouth.
Guy sends him to the hospital. So
this guy's gonna piss all over his head. Prince is gonna pee on his head. I would move him away. I would correct Prince and be like, dude, watch out, and tell this dog watch out, because to me this is a show. This is not Prince just peeing. He's again trying to show off to this dog, which is like, okay, dude, we get it, relax, But most of the time, you see that Prince has a closed mouth when he's interacting with this dog.
It's the same with this dog.
This dog has an open mouth. Prince has a closed mouth.
All right, guys, if this video helps you, which I think it will if you have a dog like him, do not forget to subscribe to this channel. So he wants to pee because he smelled something.
Trying to pee on both sides.
The double pee.
Is that good?
No, it's what it is. Now he's going to poop. So he's such a marker, he actually marks with poop as well.
No, I don't agree with that. I think he was just so stimulated that he says, well, I gotta pee, and oh, now I gotta poop. So, of course, Joel is saying one thing. I think your dog is the one that is such a marker. Pisses on everything, including dogs and umbrellas and everything he can to show everybody he's so big and bad. And he's really not. Yeah, he's a dog, but you've raised him to be so arrogant. If I can say that about a dog. And it's nothing personal against the dog, of course. Prince is, I'm sure, a wonderful dog. I just will not trust him to be a demo dog around any of my dogs or future pets. So I think he's just excited. A lot of times dogs, when they're peeing, you know, they get excited and sometimes they'll poop at the same time. It's not that he's marking. If he were marking, he'd be like kicking his feet back. So we'll see if he does that afterwards.
So that's a poop mark. So
I don't agree with that. I think he just happened. He's just so excited. He just had to poop. He didn't, in my eyes, he didn't mark because he didn't kick his feet back and kick dirt up and show everybody a big show of I'm the big guy. So I don't think that was a poop mark. I think Joel's just full of it.
Doesn't do it. My old Doberman did it. My old Doberman was such a marker. He would mark with poop. He'd poop on top of bushes in the same way you would pee up high. He's a poop marker.
I don't think so. I think, you know, I'm sure I agree with Joel that his other dog marked everything because, you know, he teaches Prince to be a bully, so he taught Roscoe to be a bully as well. I mean, he even admits that's what he does. So one instance does not mean anything unless you see a habit of that behavior. Can it happen? Sure. In my opinion, I don't think that's what it was.
A next level of marking. Look at him. He's looking.
See, he's Joel is setting up this whole thing to say, see, this is what this picture is that your dog is so much, he's painting the picture that your dog is such a bully that it excuses my dog from attacking your dog, who really is the bully in this case, in my opinion, from what I've seen. You know, but it excuses Joel's dog's behavior and Joel's lack of understanding, you know, because so that nobody gets mad at him or tries to sue him, you know, because it's, no, your dog is the bully. I think you're full of it. I mean, I'm not saying this dog isn't pushy and this dog doesn't know personal space, but I don't think it's anywhere near as, you know, everything he's talking about this dog doing, I think he's really projecting it from Prince.
Okay.
This dog just looks like he really wants to play.
We just got to let this play out. Annoyingness.
So he's telling him, back off.
The madder Prince gets at him, the better. Which
I wouldn't say the madder he gets at him, the better. No, you should teach this dog to save him, really, save his life from another dog. Back off. Quit messing with him. If he doesn't listen, then yes, let a safe, balanced dog, and by balance I mean they know when to like tell him off and when to end it. They don't need to go overboard and try to kill him. I'm not saying Prince is going to try that.
The whole point.
He just nipped Prince on the collar.
So I think that was unnecessary because the dog won't necessarily get it from that interaction. If he went to go nip and then Prince did that then, but there was a couple of seconds in between that, this dog started to run away and Prince had to chase him and grab him down. Okay, so that again is unnecessary. Prince is going way overboard. He's like built up this frustration, possibly. You know, I can't say for sure what the dogs are thinking, but it seems like he's built up this frustration and now he's finally letting go on the dog, which is not helpful for this dog because this dog will only learn to leave this individual dog, Prince, alone. I think he's going way too far with it.
Prince! Prince! Good boy. Good boy.
Good boy.
Okay, watch. Keep watching. Keep watching.
See, he didn't even try to go grab his dog. He has his helper go grab the dog. He has his hands behind him. You know, just la-di-da-di-da-di-da.
All right, so here's the roughness. Little rough, a little over the top. Prince doesn't like it. Prince is standing there. And then here, Prince still doesn't like it. Prince is trying to say, I don't like this. But he doesn't know, right? I told you that. He doesn't know. Now, here's where the muzzle body punch comes. It's more of a body punch. And Prince does not. Boom.
He you know, nips
hard.
him. He's
He's
trying
like
to get
a
him to chase
90-pound
him.
dog. He weighs more than Prince.
So then he is shaking off, telling him back off, and this dog comes in for, for more.
And then Prince goes out
and then Prince says, hey, enough. I think he could have ended it there, and this dog also would have gotten the hint.
And watch this, guys.
But he continues and goes way too far that he has, he loses control and he has to make contact with this dog.
This guy's like, what is going on?
This dog, he grabs him by the jowl, I think that's, we're not doing that. I would absolutely be on Prince's case, and if it were my own dog, if Adonis ever did this, I would be on his case too, telling him, hey, you knock it off and back off. Okay, you told him off, that's it. But of course, I wouldn't have another dog be pushing on Adonis, waiting for Adonis to blow. I would keep this dog safe and prevent them from getting into a situation like this, where, both dogs can learn a bad lesson. this dog is learning a bad lesson because he's learning that he can get away with this behavior with another dog, when it's never necessary. I mean, this guy wasn't trying to actually physically hurt him. You don't need to defend yourself. Like, leave that to the humans to do that. And I would never allow, Adonis to even get into this point.
On. And I really like that his body hits the ground right there. I don't.
I think you're an idiot, and one of these days you're going to get sued, as you should, because your dog is going to cause injury to another dog.
That would have been finished for him unless his body hit the ground. So Prince got him.
And then Prince runs back up on him, gets in his space again. I would move Prince away from there and have him just stand on leash with me and just be chill. Both dogs would be on leash and be chilling in a nice distance.
To the ground. It was ever so quick, and then I called him off, but he still got him.
But you waited too long to call him off, and even then he wasn't listening to you. He only listened because the other person ran over and got involved.
I don't think this guy needs to be told in no uncertain terms. Okay? And I don't think
that's not going to work for every other dog. Dogs are contextual learners. They learn through context, situational learners. So he learns that with Prince. He doesn't learn it with every other dog. If he learns that with a number of dogs that do the same thing, 5 dogs in a row do that, then maybe he'll learn and kind of generalize it. But we don't need every dog to do that to him. That can lead to fear, and then he can become reactive to other dogs.
Works if he doesn't hit the ground like that.
No, it doesn't. You're an idiot. You don't need your dog to hit the ground like that for it to work. God.
Now he's like, oh...
he's second guessing. He's thinking about...
I had no idea other dogs, like I said earlier, could be that strong, could be that fast. He just thought he does with them what they will, and it was the greatest thing for him.
I don't think so. I think you looked out. You got lucky. A lot of other dogs would take that personal, and they could start a fight.
See it in the rest of this video. He's not going to be perfect with every dog today because...
No, you're not going to be perfect. It's not about being perfect. It's about being safe. You don't have to be right, Joel, and you're not. You're never right. Control freak. It's not about being right. It's about being safe. And it's not about being perfect, and especially not in one day. It's a process, not an event. If he takes him to the park every day, which I imagine he will still continue to do, he's either going to have a ticking time bomb where this dog will learn what he learned from Prince and try that on another dog, or he will get into a fight with another dog, or he will cause another dog to have a fight, or he will become fearful of every dog around. This is not going to solve anything. You're wasting your time and your money.
Not Prince, but he's 50, 80...
See, notice how he had his mouth open and wagging until Prince runs up on him and then he closes his mouth?
...% better with every dog.
And wants to go sniff. That could have been, it turned out okay, but luck is not a training plan. He could have gone and corrected Prince and started another fight. So now we're going to see how he interacts with Prince now. Whereas he had an open mouth a lot of the time before, and as soon as Prince runs up on him, he closes his mouth. That's a warning sign. A red flag.
Needed that kind of correction, in my humble opinion.
I don't think he did. And you know what? As the owner who raised him to be pushy and not learn from other dogs, it's your fault. You raised him. He doesn't need to pay for your ignorance because you don't know how to raise a dog to not be a bully. And just being honest and blatant, whatever. I hold myself just as accountable. It's nothing personal. But if you raised your dog to be that way because you think taking him to the dog park is appropriate, and then your dog learns to be a bully, so then you take him over here and let him be bullied unnecessarily by another dog who's going to learn the same thing, that's not helping your dog any. It's helping you as the owner, as the human. Dogs shouldn't have to pay for our ignorance and our mistakes.
Is the crazy,
He's got another little
over
poodle
the
here.
top, but in a good way, correction
Standard
from
poodle.
Prince carries over to other dogs.
No, it
And
doesn't. No, it does not. The correction from Prince does not carry over to other dogs. You're an idiot.
He at least knows that other dogs are capable of that, and that
We don't know what he knows. This dog is just not as interesting as Prince. This dog is smaller than Prince. This dog seems, more subdued, more quiet.
Refers to other dogs.
Prince is also just like cutting them off and being all rude and disrespectful. In my opinion, he's just like, not even trying to go around him. He's just pushing through him because, again, he thinks that he's, he's the star child.
Not just Prince, but
so he comes in to sniff them. What happened to that transfers to other dogs. So now that he noticed this dog who's running away and being a little bit more shy, he's noticing them and he's sniffing them. He's not afraid of them. By the way.
This is all within criteria.
But it's that poking with the nose that's the beginning of the
which he hasn't
escalation.
Done yet, right?
He has not done it.
Okay, so I don't think Prince is trying to protect this dog at all. I think Prince is just trying to make sure to keep... I don't know if he's being a peacemaker. If I didn't know Prince's other behavior, I might say he could be being a peacemaker. But I think it's really that he's just trying to control everybody.
No.
I don't think Prince cares. He's not a good leader in the sense that he cares to protect everybody else.
I'm just going to get into it. Okay, here's what we're going to do.
Yep, here we go.
Now, this is not okay. You're teaching this dog to be fearful and to be bullied, and you're teaching this dog to bully. So what happened to the whole transfers to other dogs things, Joel? If Prince attacks him, which is what that was, not a correction. If Prince attacks him, then that should transfer to other dogs, right? But it doesn't. So that I don't like.
Sit.
And you waited too long. You didn't need to do this. I would have called him off, put him on a leash, just stood there quietly, let the other dog go, and then eventually let him drag a leash. And, there's a number of ways we can do this. But this is not what I would do.
All right, now we're going to apply the correction. Not as effectively as him, but we are going to apply it. And go do it again.
Why don't you do another correction so I can mimic you if I can.
Okay. Yeah, and the thing with the Prince deal
Okay, so he left her alone. Why don't you take that as a moment to reward? He's moving away because this person's moving away.
That he felt
so you don't need the correction. You can just walk away and call the dog to you and reward them for that, reinforce that behavior. I'm not saying that you can't stop, pushy behavior. I didn't like how he was doing that, and that's why I would walk over, put him on leash. But I don't need to be aggressive in that matter. I don't need to be like Prince or Joel.
The thing with my grabbing him deal is he felt my strength. Now this is all normal. We got to let him be a normal dog.
Yeah.
And then what is the behavior that we are going to correct? It is.
So this dog just seems like he gets overstimulated.
For sure. Yes, and we have to go off the other dog. So look at this other dog.
Yeah.
This is the most playful dog you'll see. Hey! Okay, that's my last one. It's you now. Okay, so I said hey. It just came out. We can say leave it. I don't really care.
He responds to leave it
pretty well. Let's say leave it, and then I want you to go.
So no reinforcement after the fact. No, hey, good job for staying over here and leaving this dog alone. No, good job for staying with me. It's just I'm a lazy human and I'm going to leave you to go to a dog park and get your exercise because I don't know how to teach you to walk without punishing you. I rely on throwing the ball for you. Whatever. Let everybody else take care of you, but then I'll do the correction because it's easier.
And if he goes, oh my God, okay, I won't do it anymore, Dad, we still grab him.
No, so that's just a good way to lose trust in your dog, but he doesn't seem like he cares anyway.
You just released him.
Yes.
Is that the idea?
That's the idea.
Okay.
He got it. He was like, okay, dude.
He's only going to listen when humans are there. He's only going to listen when the person is there. None of this translates to diddly squat.
You're the guy.
Got it.
Okay.
That was too late.
It'll probably only happen with this dog, and it may not happen again based on 2 corrections.
Tell me how far I should let it go or at what point I should go grab him.
I will.
You don't let it go. You don't let him do that, period. When you see that you get dogs that are like-minded, like him. You take him for regular exercise. As soon as he starts bumping other dogs, I would take him away from that situation. And set up play dates with dogs that are like-minded and like temperament and energy level. But for me, I don't care about playing with other dogs. I would rather have my dog more bonded to me than other dogs. Can they have friends? Sure. But that little poodle didn't seem like they wanted anything to do with him. Prince, none of these dogs here seem like they care.
I guess.
I mean, I think you know.
You're right.
I would say a hump is criteria. Hold on.
Okay.
Good. Check in with you. Okay, if you think... Yes. Go get him.
Henry, sit.
Good job.
Okay, so that was all horrible. He chases, he says his name, then he yells sit, and now he's going to follow all that up with negative reinforcement. or positive punishment, whatever you want to say, grabbing him. So now, guess what? In the future, Henry's not going to listen to his name. He's not going to come. He's not going to stop and sit for you. He's going to run away from you because Joel is teaching you a very stupid technique. Good luck with that.
Stop it. Leave it.
Now he's yelling at him in the face way too long after the fact because he had to chase him, and then he grabs him by the fur. We have this camera that's coming in, confusing the dog, distracting the dog. We have this dog coming in, distracting the dog. He's telling him, stop it and leave it, and the dog doesn't know why the hell his dad is yelling at him, but now he's not going to want to come to him.
And let him go. I'd say a little longer. You hold him a little longer.
Okay.
I'd say
it was too late after the
leave
fact.
It was too late. You did a good job.
No, he didn't. He did a terrible job, Joel, because you told him to do a terrible job.
Grab matters. You did a good job.
How does he keep little peppers?
So this is a great strategy.
This is not a great strategy. It's a horrible strategy, but okay. You're the one paying Joel, I'm not. So, this is a good suggestion. Absolutely horrible. I didn't see any good progress. I don't think any of this is any good idea, but that's me. If you want to go support Joel, please, by all means, go support him, follow him, pay him, do whatever you want to. You can hate on me, or you can like or dislike or subscribe to my channel, and that's very much appreciated. But you do not have to. If you want to support Joel, please, by all means, I'm not going to tell you not to. This is just how I see it. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for the suggestion. I do appreciate it. I hope you all are doing very well out there. Say how you do to your little critters. Give them some kind of loving for me. And until next time, stay positive.